Yo, what is going on, guys? So today is Saturday. We had a 7-on-7 tournament earlier today. As you can see, my face is freaking burnt, my forehead and my nose. Anyways, we did pretty decent. Tomorrow is bracket play, but enough of that stuff. Obviously, because it is not a training day today, we will just do a chart breakdown of YM, which is E-mini, the Dow futures, and the NASDAQ futures as well. So I'm going to turn the screen here and we're going to dive right into it. Okay, guys, so this is the first chart that we're going to break down. We've got the Dow Jones futures. All right, this is the weekly right here. So first, let's identify, is there a bullish or bearish trend going? We've definitely got bullish going, so let's just go ahead and get out the text box. You've seen us do this once before, so we're going to fly through this a little bit quicker. Weekly, daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour. So these are all the ones we just want to figure out what the bias is. This is bullish. Oops, bullish. Let's go to daily. Let's spread it out. We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. So we're also going to go now. Yes, although we've broken structure a little bit, this could potentially be you're starting to make your first lower high because broken this level here. Boom. Okay, lower low, lower high, lower low. So just for argument's sake, let's just put bearish because let's see what we get on the 4 hour and 1 hour. Because maybe it is flipped and now it is starting to make, which we're exactly right. We started to build up on this side here. You can even draw a trend line on this side. Boom. Through here. Okay. But obviously that is not respected anymore. Now it's come to the other side, which now anything that's usually under the trend line, we're looking for sells. So this is also, let's get our little list. Where did it go? Over here. Let's put bearish here. Bearish. And 1 hour, my guess is we're going to get exactly the same. Right now, obviously, we're two on one on the bearish to bullish. This is also bearish play as well. So what does that tell us? That tells us right now we already know what we're looking for on more of a long-term basis. We've got 4 bearish and we've got 1 bullish. Now, doesn't mean I can't counter trend, which means go against where we're going, which means we're on our way down bearish. So we're looking for sells. So we're looking for things on the way down. But it's possible that on these pullbacks, you can make money on this move right up in here, or this move right up in here, or this move right up in here on the pull ups where it's got to retest these zones. So for instance, this is a lower low, lower high. When it pulled up, you can make money there. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we're on our way, obviously. Let me delete these, okay? But I just want to give you guys perspective. We talked about this before, so I don't want to mess with it all too much. All right, let's just get right into the nitty gritty. Okay, let's start marking off our levels. Boom. Let's go back to the weekly. Okay, now we know that we're looking for bullish moves. Let's take this trend line off real quick. Let's take this off, and let's start marking our levels. Now to make this a little bit clearer for you guys, because before it was blue, and we're gonna put the body in there. Blue. And then these were black, and just make these borders black. Boom. And then let's make the wicks black and black, because that's what you guys are accustomed to seeing. So we'll just rock with that for now. Okay, so you guys can get a clear picture of it. Let's go ahead and mark these charts off. All right, first weekly level. This is kind of like a no touch here, but you've got a little bit of resistance, a little bit of support right here. So we're going to pop that in. We're going to call it weekly. Oops, text, weekly. Okay, we're going to copy and paste this. Okay, clone it. And we're going to drag that bad boy to, that's actually not a bad level here. It's just here because we're obviously, we pushed up to our all-time highs. So right here, there's a level as well. Okay, we're going to call that a weekly. We're going to clone it again. Boom. We're going to bring this one down. Let's bring this down to this level right up in here. There's a lot of resistance, not a whole lot of support. So let's bring it down further where we got some more support here. Support, resistance, resistance. That's a good level there. Let's clone it again. Again, now granted, I am taking levels. This is not a bad one here. We've got a little bit of support right here, if you guys can notice, to your right at 36,129. You got some resistance over here. So we're going to just put it right in between. Boom. Okay, that looks pretty solid for these levels. There is another one up here as well at this 39,000 level, so we're going to mark this one as well. Boom. Okay, and we're going to put this one in. It's not quite 39,000, it's 38,929. 9 to 9:30, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's my weekly levels. That's plenty because anything below this, I can remark stuff off down here, but we are on our way down. I've got levels to key off of as we go. Weekly, when they're further out or they're bigger time frames, or I should say, yeah, just larger time frames, they're obviously more valid. When we go down into the smaller time frames, they're not as much. As I told you before, I don't really know why I do this. There's surely I can mark off daily levels if I see them. But typically, I'll just get this stuff more on the fly. And that's not about necessarily being unprepared. But I like to go down to the 4 hour because, like I told you, I don't like the chart to be too bulky or have too much going on. So here we go. We've got a double top up here nicely. Obviously, we've got it. I'm just going to go ahead and pop this trend line in because obviously I see it. So I want to have a visual there that I know that this can respect, because if it breaks through here and starts to make its way back up, I know what to be looking for. So here's level 1, here's level 2. Okay, so those are 2 touches. All right, potential for this thing to bounce right here on this weekly level that we've already marked, for it to come back up here and retest this consolidation area and or resistance. Let's pull this weekly down just a smidge because I see it. It even looks clear right here, so that's good. All right, now let's go. What? I know, I'm doing the video. Okay, so we're on the 4 hour levels right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark off this level right here at 39,683. Okay, there's that one there. And then we're gonna clone this. We're gonna get another 4 hour level. Let's bring this down up into this box. Typically between weeklies, it's not like, it doesn't have to be this way every time. However, there's usually anywhere between 2 to 3 4 hour levels within a weekly level. This is a solid one right here, which is where I put touch 2. Look at this, support. Tons of resistance right up in here, which is where I was moving the weekly, just above. Resistance, resistance, support. Okay, so that's a solid level. And that's probably good there. Let's clone this one and move it down to the next level underneath. Let's come down up in between these weeklies. This is a solid level right here. Look at all this support here. We got some resistance over here as well. Well, let's see here. Support, support, resistance, support, 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 resistance. Yeah, so this is a solid 4 hour. Let's come down. I want to make one more. I think that would be plenty. And honestly, then we're ready to rock and roll. Past that point, as I told you, in the 4 hour levels, everything else is just boxes. 1 hour levels is just for zones, just areas that we want to attack. Again, I'm more of a scalper kind of by nature. So what that means is that I actually do hold 1 hour levels, pretty valid for me. So there's support, there's some resistance, boom. I can even draw another one here. It's kind of like the top of this box. I don't want to crowd it too much, okay? But this is a 4 hour level. Got some support, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's the respective level, but it's pushed up here to this level as well. So this is just kind of an in-between level, all right, that we could go to. We just want to keep in mind. All right, now let's go down to the 1 hour. As I zoom out, again, guys, we're looking for bullish play. Let's zoom out some more. Okay, boom. I know what's going on. I'm wondering why it looks different, because I don't have it in the gray. There we go. That's better on the eyeballs. That's more like it. Okay. I was like, why is it like so bright? Okay. So the 1 hour level, let's look for key. Honestly, our 4 hour levels have marked off a lot of major levels, right? Price is trading over here at 38,230, where you see this hair marker. Okay, obviously the market's not open. It's Saturday. But let's take a peek at it. This right here is a box. This is the zone where it's bounced between, right? Look to your left. Boom. Where is the next zone? Boom. Where did that go? I hit clone. Okay, let's try this again. Clone. Here we go. Look at this level right up in here. Boom. Right on top. Okay, is another level. So again, guys, we just take it level by level. We obviously listen to our 4 hours and we listen to our weeklies. However, these are legitimate zones here. That it is, had resistance, had prior support, that we want to play in between as we go. I don't know why this box is red on the outside. Don't like that. Don't like that either. Okay, there we go. Let's just make it black. Cool. All right, boom. So there you see it right there as I open it up. Sorry if it's a little difficult to see. Okay, right now we've got just a huge fall to the downside, guys, right? Okay, so there's not a whole lot of boxes to be drawn. I would put one here in between these two levels, but check this out. We've already got a 4-hour and a weekly here, so we're just going to play off of these. We're going to play off of these. We're not going to do anything too fancy. We're making lower lows, lower highs. This is definitely headed on its way down. I could see, I'm moving back now to my daily and my 4-hour charts. I could see this come down to these levels right here where this major support is. Okay, but again, we're just going to play this zone by zone. Let me take this box off so you don't confuse you. Okay, and even the trend line could come off. Again, this is just to identify if this thing comes back up, test this area, and breaks above. I'm looking for a retest on this, and then I want to continue up to zone 2, and then go back up to zone 1. That's usually how that works. On a trend line, if it breaks through this box, you're not looking to go back to the levels it's touched once before. Remember now, all these levels that have been prior support or resistance are used as they're like magnets almost in the field of in the markets. I was gonna say the field of trading, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. So I just want you to identify, these things as you're looking and go, okay, if I have this descending trend line and it does break above, that's when we look for other stuff. Otherwise, guess what? We're gonna take these zone by zone on the way down. We're not gonna look too clustered, and we're gonna just read this thing out as things go. I'm going to take these 4 hours out. It looks a little clustered in here. I'd rather not have it clustered. That's a weekly level. Boom. That's also a 4-hour level. Boom. Kind of a daily level in a way. A little bit of a support here. Hold on. Let me go to my weekly. Just make sure I've got my levels right. This is supposed to be a 4-hour. Okay, let's take this off quickly. Let me go back to my 4-hour here. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right stuff. Again, guys, you want to be precise about this. This is the reason I'm going back and deleting a couple because it looked a bit clustered. You definitely don't want to have too much on your chart. You don't want to see too much. You want to make sure that obviously everything's really clean. Okay, right here is more of a 4-hour, so we're going to mark that one, and I think that's kind of where I had it, but I just want to make sure. Boom, 4-hour, and then we're going to leave it alone after that. We're not going to really, there's potential stopping points in the middle where all this extra noises. I'm going to draw a box around it so you guys can identify what I'm talking about. This is a consolidation zone. So you look left, you expect it to break down to the bottoms though, which is where I'm willing to take it to the 4-hour. So if I was looking to take a sell here at the top of this weekly box up here, come Monday, I'm putting my stop loss right here, and I'm taking this thing down to this 4-hour level. Boom. Obviously, this is a 10-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Again, I'm looking at it on a 4-hour. So there's a good amount of risk, 71 points, but you're looking for a 713-point target. Pretty solid there. So this would be the only play right now, but of course we're going to let Monday's market open up and show us what it wants to do, show it its hand before we do anything else. Okay? This thing could easily, let's go down to the smaller time frames, pull back up to look. Very, very easy for this thing to go on a buy as well. If I want to take a counter trend on this and I'm underneath this level right here, the support, and I want to drive up to this 4-hour level, then right here I can. So this is still a 3.22 risk-reward ratio. Okay, you're going for 299 points. If this thing pushes up, I'm looking for this level right here, which is a little zone of resistance. Okay, this level right here, which is zone of resistance. Okay, so these two levels right here is where I can potentially take it to. And I'm mitigating my risk by putting it underneath this weekly level. So again, as long as I'm playing off of a support or playing off of resistance that it could potentially pass through, I should just call it indecision level, then you're in good shape. Don't play in the middle. Just like we talk about, you want to play tennis between these two zones. So you're here. You've got two different setups. You can potentially look for buys. You can potentially look for sells as well. That is YM, okay? Now we're going to jump onto the NQ chart. I'm going to bring this one over. Boom. Okay, here's NQ. All right, here's my weekly level. Obviously, we are bullish right here, okay? A lot of times, weekly, 4-hour, or daily, 4-hour, and 1 hour, okay? So you got weekly levels right here that are bullish, okay? You've got the daily levels that are also bullish, okay? Let me see here. Let's go back to the weekly. We're going to go to the 4-hour level. Or excuse me. Sorry. Went to the daily. Yeah, 4-hour level. Let's see what the 4-hour level is telling us. It's starting to consolidate, and it actually is starting to come down. Look, you're making lower lows. I'm going to just circle these right here. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So because you're starting to come down at a slope, now you're starting to see the market turn over. We're also looking for sells as well. So 4-hour level, if I can find that little key. Let's go back to the weekly. Bring this thing down. Oh my goodness. I'm still in the drawing tool. My bad, my bad. Come back. Okay. 4-hour is bearish. Okay. And then 1 hour is also bearish. We're starting to make our way down. We've got some serious resistance here on the 1 hour. I'm going to mark this level off too as for a box. And obviously we'll build around this. Again, as I see it, guys, I don't want to leave it for chance. I want to make sure that I obviously mark off this level because this is huge, that it's obviously bounced off of before and come down. And then here would be another level, right? Let me clone this. Come on. Okay, hold on. Clone. And then we're going to take this thing down up in here. We're going to put this level down at the bottom. So right here between these two zones, again, we would want to, again, play tennis between these zones, knock it down. Let's go ahead and mark off our weekly levels. Let's mark off our daily levels and our 4 hours, okay? So let me go ahead and trash all this. All right. Again, let's make these levels. Let's put the body back in there so you guys can see it clearly. Boom. All right. Now, all right, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and start marking off the weekly levels. So I got a level right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. That is at 18,446. Put that weekly right there on the text. Boom. We're going to clone that. And we're going to just move it right up along. We're going to bring this thing down. Okay. Got a level there, weekly. Let's clone it again. Oops. Let's clone it. Let's bring this thing down to about right there. Okay, let's clone it again. Let's bring this thing down to... We've definitely got resistance and we've got support in this level. It's kind of in the middle. I don't really like that one all too much. That's a solid one right there. We're going to take that. We're going to clone it one more time. And that's probably plenty as far as my levels are concerned for right now. Boom. That looks clean right there. I like that. All right, so we're going to drop down to the daily. Told you again, I usually skip that one because I don't really like to have it too clustered. Jumping right to the 4 hour. Let's take a peek. Once again, let's draw some arrows here just to give you guys a reference of what we're looking at here. If I can get the arrow tool. Arrow, arrow, not the smiley face. Arrow, arrow, arrow. There. Lower high. Lower high. Lower high. So once again, if I wanted to, I could take this and let's go ahead and put it in there just for this sake right here. We're going to draw this down. Okay. Right up in here, we've got a zone. Got another zone. And realistically, I probably could make this a little bit more aggressive and make it touch. That way we've got 3 touches. Boom, like so. Okay, let's take this one off for a second. Let's move this one up. Boom. And then we can take this one. Boom. And really, it's kind of like a fourth one. Obviously, it popped out, but then rejected. It just lets me know that it confirms. If this thing ends up coming up here and gets above it, I'm looking for the retest. And then again, what did I tell you before? Testing level 3, level 2, and level 1. So it should start making its way up to all these levels. So on its way, you know, when it starts to reverse and break of highs, now we're starting to look left and go, okay, where has it gone before? Where has it stopped before? Because that's how you read price action. I don't want to just go, oh, I think it's going to come up here. Well, where has price gone there before? It can. It's not to say it won't, but the higher probability trades are boom, where it's gone previously. Okay? So let's just keep all these things in mind as we move forward. All right? So let's go ahead and get these drawings off. Let's keep it rolling. We're almost done here, guys. All right? So boom, we've got our 4 hour levels already done. We've got our descending trend line that's already marked up. It's already getting ready here to approach the weekly. So what's that mean? That means I'm going to go ahead and wait till it gets into this range right up in here somewhere. Okay? It could easily reject, and taking this buy to be fair. Same thing like on YM, if I take this sell and put this, or excuse me, this buy, and I put it underneath here. Granted, we're on a 4 hour, so this is a 141 point risk. That's quite a lot. However, if I test it and let it come up here to hit this trend line, or anywhere in this area where there's prior resistance, anywhere in here potentially, right here by all these wicks up top, and it hits somewhere in this range, and I bring this down here, so 1.41 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Not too bad, shooting for 200 points. So I'm risking, in theory, on a one contract situation, $1,400 to make $2,000. It's not terrible, okay? It's over a 1-to-1. This is a trade, if this matches your trading plan, that you can take. Otherwise, what do? I let this thing come through, break, retest, and then where are we going? Down to the next level. And I'm looking left to see where's price gone previously, where it could potentially stop, so I can take my profits. That's all I want to do. And if it blows through this with a lot of volume, and I'm looking at order flow, then I take it to the weekly. That's how this works, guys. Okay, you're patient, you're waiting for your opportunity, and then you seize the moment. Okay, you don't sit up in the chop. You wait for it to present something, juicy and a good move for you, and then you jump in. All right, so let's go to the 1 hour. Obviously, I've drawn a box here already. Weekly actually is a solid level, even for your 1 hours. I told you this earlier. This is a solid 1 hour up here. Let's draw a box here just for argument's sake. Boom. You got support and resistance here. We're going to take this, we're going to clone it, and guess what? We're going to pull this thing all the way down here, and look where it is. So this is what's called confluence. Not only is this a 1 hour confirmation that there's been a lot of support here, but it's also been weekly as well. Weekly is obviously much stronger than 1 hour levels. So what that means is this is even stronger of a magnet. So it's going to pull price down here. And what are we getting confirmation of? We're making a descending trend line, so we're going where? Down. Lower lows, lower highs. Lower low, lower high. Lower low, lower high. So what should happen here? Lower low. So even here, if I took a quick scalp and I wanted to sell, right at market open, I put this right here, and I put this down here in this box, and I took it all the way weekly. This is a 1.4 to 1. If I wanted to put this super tight and give myself 34 points, now at market open, 930, this thing could blow right through this. So, but still, it's a 3.83 to 1 risk reward ratio. To risk $340 to potentially make $1,300 is worth it. If you want to take this trade and you start to see sellers right when market open jump right into this market and push this bad boy down to the weekly. So guys, these are the two moves. This could potentially push back up. Once this thing comes down and gets up in here, what am I going to do now? It's rejected here. And where did it go? All the way up there. It's rejected here, gone all the way up here. It's rejected here. Where'd it go? All the way up here. It's rejected here. Obviously, this kept going and pushed up here. So there's obviously what's called passive buyers that sit right in this area. So what that means is I want to capitalize on this situation. And if I'm going to take a long here, then I'm going to put this gray, right under the gray box, 43-ish points. Let it breathe a little bit. And I'm going to drive this thing all the way back up, minimum, to this level right here, 310. And then maximum, if it gives me good volume, I'm going to push that thing back up to my 1 hour box for 449 points, 10.32 risk reward ratio, guys. Cannot beat that. So these are our two different setups. Obviously, you saw that I've given you a buy and a sell scenario because guess what? You have to be able to have both, okay? So I want you guys to understand as you look at the markets, sorry, that's super close. As you guys look at the markets, that you need to assess risk before you get into the market. You need to assess your buy situations and scenarios. You need to assess your sell situations. And then if it just consolidates in between a couple zones, then I would not jump in that market. Just wait until you get the plays that you're looking for. Now, my playbook is break of highs, break of lows, supply and demand, support and resistance bounces, which is pretty much supply and demand. And I'm looking at those key levels on the weekly, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. That's the only reason I mark those levels solely. I don't want to get too caught up in 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, where it consolidates and or stops or stalls. I have to be confident enough in what I'm looking at and let the play develop enough to sit on my hands, wait for the proper move, wait for a retest off of a support or resistance, and go back into the play tennis between those two zones as we talk about and allow those profits to roll in. If I trade just these high setup probabilities, then I am going to set myself up for success. So guys, that is, the name of the game there. We went over NQ, we went over YM. I want to make sure you guys are, dialed in for this next week. Again, it was 7-on-7 today, so there wasn't a whole lot of clips for me to show you. I didn't take the camera out there, so, just bear with me. Tomorrow we have another 7-on-7. Tomorrow is tournament, or bracket play, as they call it. Pool play is the first day, which is what we did today, all the way up until about 8 o'clock. But I wanted to give you guys a breakdown because I know that's, besides the working out and the day-to-day life, I wanted to obviously keep the flow going with the vlog, but ultimately this is what you guys are here for as well. And I want to make sure that my kids watching this, in the future, are obviously getting the breakdowns of the charts and understand what I'm looking for. And for those who obviously are just viewers that are interested in the trading aspect of things, I want you guys to see the come up as well. I think that this makes it as transparent and as honest as I can be. I want you guys to be here along the journey, through the blown accounts, through the payouts, through the cash that sit in the living room when I pull out $100,000 that I, withdraw and let you guys see with your own eyes. I want you to know that I am, one of the legit ones. And I don't care how long it takes for me to show you this, but I'm going to continue to go, continue to work at it every day, continue to get better on my craft every day. That's just who I am. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I hope you guys have a blessed Saturday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.